He can touch me as much as he wants to, and he can love me as hard as he wants to, and I like that. Ooh, baby, I like that. If you wanna get close, then come right in. If you wanna
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Target Talk. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Justin. I got Mike.
What up?
And as you heard, that is Chemistry by Honey Daii, who we do have in the studio with us today. Thank you so much for coming in. How are you?
Absolutely. I am doing okay today. It's been a pretty good day. Chill. Been at the house. Got prepared for this, so I got my mind right. I'm ready.
Okay. We're definitely glad to have you here.
Yes, I'm glad
sure.
to be here.
For sure. And that song, like we said before, it's good.
Thank you.
People are gonna enjoy that when it comes out.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
But we'll go ahead and jump right in. Mm-hmm. I have an easy question, or depending on you, it could be a hard question. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, who is Honey Daii?
Ooh, that's so complex. So Honey Daii is a R&B artist that is based in the DFW, but is from East Texas. So I'm from a small town called Winona. It's real small, but it's growing, you know. And I moved out here in 2015. And then probably 2018 is when I really kind of started to dive into music for like just making my own where people could hear it. Mm-hmm. I've always written music or sung or just made stuff at home, but not actually out for people to listen to. So in 2018 is when I kind of decided I'm on try it out and see what comes from it. And I've surprised myself at how far things have progressed as far as music has gone. So, yep, I'm an R&B artist. I don't consider myself to be somebody you can really put in a box. I'm going to experiment with sounds. I'm going to experiment with what I feel in the moment and whatever may be going on in life. So, yeah, that's me, Honey Daii.
Okay. Okay. You say you're from Winona?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What's that? What's it like out there?
Sticks, trees, you know. So my childhood home is like right next to this, like I call it this pine tree forest. So it's like a rows and rows of pine trees. And I am like, our community is very like tight knit. Mm-hmm. So I went to that school from kindergarten all the way to my senior year in high school. So like those people I started with are like the people I knew.
Right.
So the nearest town is Tyler. So I would go in between Tyler and Winona. So Tyler's like 30 minutes outside of Winona.
Okay.
But really, to give y'all a little bit something that I haven't gave, Winona is, like I said, where I went to school with. That's where I spent all of my childhood. But I'm really from Red Springs, which is like 5-10 minutes down from Winona. But they got a gas station.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
So we got a gas station, we got a water tower, you know.
Okay.
So a lake.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So a little bit of
entertainment. It's gonna grow.
Yeah. So what was the type of music that you grew up with?
So I grew up with all kinds of music, from old school, from my parents playing stuff. But me, I listened to, like, I had this boombox that my uncle had got me, and I used to listen to Mariah Carey on that. And then I would go from Mariah Carey to Shaka Khan to who else? Aaliyah. I was diehard Aaliyah, of course, like most. Monica, Maya. Anyways, Monica, Maya. I love B2K. This is why I'm saying like some of these people, because they refreshed from the
BET Awards.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I loved all of them. India.Arie was one of my favorites. Jasmine Sullivan is one of my favorites. New right now, I love Victoria Monet, Beyonce, of course, Coco Jones, Money Long, all of those. They're doing phenomenal right now. So I love all the R&B. And then my brother listened to a lot of rap, so I he used to have these big speakers in his room when I was growing up, and so he would like blast it in the house to the point where it make my mama mad, and she'd be like, "Turn that off! You got the walls shaking." So he would play a lot of Pimp C and just down south music, so Zeros, just any down south artist you could think of, he was playing it in the house. So
Okay.
yeah.
So a little bit of everything, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how did music first show up in your life?
So it started for me when I was really, really young. I can't tell you an exact age and when it started, but I've never known a point in my life when I wasn't singing. So when I was little, I would just sing around the house, just around my family. But I was really shy growing up. I still am kind of shy, but I've worked on it a lot over the years. But I would just be around the house singing. I would get on their nerves from just singing. And then from there, I remember in elementary, I was in our music teacher's class, Miss Beasley. And but at the time, one of our coaches was in her classroom early that morning. Like for some reason, I was at the school early. I was the only one in the room, and I was just sitting waiting for everybody else to get there. And I was in the corner, and I was just humming the whole time. But I didn't realize I was humming. She realized I was humming, and she pointed it out. And she was just like, "I hear you over there humming. What are you humming?" And I was like, "I didn't even know I was humming." So since I was a kid, I've always been drawn to music. Like I've been drawn to singing, and I remember one of my cousins used to be a dancer, and so she performed at the college campus, TJC. They had like a lyrical dancing program that she was in, and that's one of my core memories that I remember being like, I want to do that. I want to be up there because I just got to watch her perform, and it was just amazing to me. So that kind of sparked a love for the arts for me, and it just carried all the way through high school, middle school, from being a part of just modeling things in Tyler. I auditioned for like a model agency when I was a kid. Then once I got to high school, I started being involved in the arts that we had at the school. So there's somewhere lingering on YouTube some old videos from me in high school. So I did one act play in high school when we had talent shows. Again, my school was really small. I was from a 2A school. So we kind of created whatever artistic opportunities we could find because we just didn't really have all of that at the school. We had a one act, and I joined that and did some acting for the school, and then we would have a talent show and we'd do dance routines. I would sing, and then go play basketball.
Okay.
So that was kind of my life growing up.
Yeah.
I would do the arts on the side and then have to do sports the rest of the time and try to figure out ways that I could figure out how to get out of the country a little bit so I can make more opportunities for myself in the art world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to your arts, but
Okay.
what position did you play in basketball?
I was wait. I don't even want to tell you. Tell me what you think.
I mean, I think you ran point, but I'm not sure.
Okay, what you think?
I'm gonna say forward, small
Okay.
forward.
I was post.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was a post.
Okay.
I know it's shocking. It was even more shocking back then because I was a toothpick in high school. But I had this senior, whenever I was a freshman, I got to be with varsity. And there was a girl, her name was Callie. Shout out to Callie. But she used to like throw me to the ground. I mean, every practice I would be hitting the floor. And but she wound up becoming like my mentor during basketball. And eventually she made me tough enough where I knocked her down one time in practice. And I was like, oh, shoot, she gonna be mad. And she got up and she was like, good job. And took off running down the court. I was like, oh, yeah, I done something. Yeah. So that kind of boosted my confidence. So I was always down low. I was rebounding. I was probably one of the fastest to get up and down the court.
Yeah.
If we got to wrestle to get down on the floor and get the ball, I'm there. But now I'm not going to say I was the best shooter.
Okay.
But I got you on defense.
Yeah.
I got you down low. I got you on rebounds. If you need me to get to the other side quick, I'm there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I played basketball from elementary to high school.
Okay. So pretty much all your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I played little dribblers and then it just kept going.
Yeah.
But my favorite was sports. My favorite sport was running track.
Okay. What'd you run?
I ran the 100 and I was on the sprint relay and the 800 relay and long jump and triple jump.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're a real athlete.
Yes, I was. I had to be. I grew up in a house full of boys.
Oh,
so,
Okay.
you know, I just had to fit in where I could.
Yeah.
So it wound up being sports because that's what they were doing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I know you talked about it in 2018. That's when you started becoming Honey Day. But when was the moment that you really felt that coming?
That I was like most Honey Day.
Yeah, like
So I would say, so when I first started in 2018, I did a small little EP. So it was like 4 or 5 songs on it, and it was called The Introduction, and it was under my actual name, just Dominique Traylor. And so I just did that just to be like, I'm just gonna try it out and see what it looks like, just throw out something. And then afterwards, that's kind of how I wound up getting into the Epiphany project, because I was like, I'm on try to see what else I can really do now that I've just thrown out something just to throw it at the wall and see what happens. And then in the process of it, I started teaching, and I never planned on teaching ever in my life, but you know, that was just so happened to be the path that I was supposed to go on. And I remember being in a classroom, and out of nowhere, some of my kids would come up to me and be like, start singing my song, and I'm like, hey. Please. Not here.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to cloud the water. Like, I'm an artist outside of work, and while I'm here, I'm your theater teacher.
Yeah.
Like, let's not do that. And
Yeah.
so in the process of that is kind of how I feel like I found Honey Day, is because I was like, I need to find a different name because it's too easy for them to find me. And then they come to school and they wear it out. Like, it just becomes a thing. So it just led me into Honey Day, which I went with Honey Day because, you know, I'm from the South. I've been in Texas my whole life. And so if I was thinking, I was like, if I would want anybody to call me anything outside of my name, it'll be Honey, because that's just a normal thing that you hear in the South. Like, my family members would be like, oh, yeah, honey, you good? You can come sit right here. Or, you know, that's just it feels home-like to me. And I just wanted I wanted my artist name to reflect something that no matter how far I went in life, that I'll always be able to pull from where I came from. Yeah. And so Honey Day kind of gives that to me, that name. So, yeah. That's when I feel like the most, like, oh, I'm becoming something that even my, like, students are able to, like, come in here and tell me what I have going on. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out something. So, you know.
So when you put out the introduction, was that your first time putting out music?
Yes. That was my very first time putting out music.
Yeah.
And it was a little nerve-wracking. But at the time, I really went in that direction because it was a lot going on in my life at the time. And I always wrote stuff at home, but I would keep them on voice memos on my phone. So I was like, I was real upset. And I was like, I'm about to put out something. I'm just going to lay it out there and just see. And so that's kind of how I wound up getting the song Pull Up. That's one of the songs that kind of came from that little time. But yeah, the introduction was just me pulling from my schooling, because I went to Sam Houston for theater. So I graduated from there in 2014 and then moved out here in 2015. So I just wanted to play in the arts. I got out here, I wasn't really involved in much anything art-wise, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just figure out something on my own and see if I can come up with some videos and, you know, pull from my theater background and do my music. And that's kind of how I wound up falling into the introduction. And I just named it the introduction because I was like, I'm new to this. I don't really have an idea of how this is supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do next. I'm just introducing myself and see what happens from here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So aside from your students going crazy over it, like, what was the reception that you got?
They loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I was like, I got to figure out something because I would go down the hallway and I would hear them singing it, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. Or I'll be in the classroom and one of them will walk up to me and like show me and be like, this is you, ain't it? This is you. We found you. And so that was cool. And then just home. Yeah. I feel like I got a lot of love at home too. Like my people would just be like, we so proud of you, and they'll like be singing the song. Or one of my friends in a group chat not too long ago, he was just like, yeah, I'm just riding down the street listening to Honey Daii. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. So it just became this thing that I was good at. You know, I was good at singing. I wrote music. I was good at writing music, but it eventually became something where, you know, now I know other people enjoy my music as well. Yeah. So.
Do you remember the first song you wrote?
Like my very first song?
Yeah, very first song. Like when you started writing music.
Actually, I have one diary. I used to collect a whole bunch of diaries. And I kind of still keep journals. It's still my thing. Mm-hmm. And I have this one little pink one still at the house. And it has some of my old... So it started off where... You know how we had those dial-up computers? Yeah. So we had this dial-up computer in my mama's dining room. And I would go in and I would sit and I would pull up poems online, like just research different poems. And I would keep my diary to the side of it. And any poem that I loved, I would write down the poem. And so I collected this little section in my diary of just poems that I loved. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it wound up me writing a song. One of the earliest songs that I guess I can remember was... this song, it's one from high school, and one of my friends from high school always reminds me of the song, but I've forgotten. But she knows it. But the earliest song that I can remember was this one called Heavy. And I was at my aunt's house. My brother was always into music, like I told y'all. And he worked for the radio station out there for a little bit. And so he had this guy he was friends with who made beats. And for some reason, I can't remember, I think he was a roommate to my brother at some point, and we were in his in the dining room area, and I was going through his beats, and I wrote Heavy. And that was the first one that I had with a beat. All the songs before then was just a cappella. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them I fully can't remember, but if I go back and I ask some of my friends from high school, they'll know. But that was probably the first one. Okay. Heavy. Yeah.
Need to get heavy on streaming services.
I know my brother actually had me recorded. He has it on one of his poetry pieces. Okay. It exists. It's out there. It's just not out. Okay. So, you know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Need to re-record it.
I know. Maybe pull it back.
Well, you did mention your Epiphany EP back in 2023. What story were you trying to tell when that?
Epiphany. Yeah. So, Epiphany for me was just like I got to Epiphany because I did the introduction. Mm-hmm. A little bit. I used to have a lot of dreams about just different stuff. Like I would go to sleep, have a dream about different things. And one time, right after releasing the introduction, I had this dream that I was in this dark room and I was developing photos, and while I'm developing the photos in the dream, there's like this voice that speaks in the dream. It's not like a voice that I know, but it was just speaking, and it said, I know you feel like I've forgotten about you, but I haven't. But I can't bring you out into the light until it's the right time or it'll ruin the image. And so that kind of started the Epiphany journey. And which is why if you look back on some of the content that we put out, you can see us doing development with photos and stuff like that because it came from that dream. And so Epiphany was just me kind of discovering that I enjoyed music, and it was supposed to be like, I don't know, from when I was a kid, I used to feel like when I would listen to projects from different artists, it would be a compilation of different styles. Like it would be, one would be about like heartbreak, and then the next one would be something fun, and then the next one would be something personal. And so I was trying in the Epiphany era to pull in all the things that were currently going on in my life. Mm-hmm. and put them in a project and tell the story of like me coming into myself as an artist. Because I feel like during the Epiphany project, I learned so much because I didn't know a lot of the stuff. Like, I didn't know who to talk to or what studio is the best studio to go to, who even specialized in knowing how to work with the R&B artist, you know, like who do I need to go to make sure that I get the sound the best way. So Epiphany was very much like a discovery phase for me, which I feel like towards the end of it, what I got out of Epiphany made me feel like it made sense for the dream. Like, I needed to go through that process of learning music a little bit more. Figuring out how to upload a song fully to the right platform, that it's on every platform. Yeah. Is this the right, should I be on this platform to upload music, or should I pick a different one? Like, it was very much a moment of epiphany of realizing that I am an artist and I'm supposed to be doing this, but I needed that journey of epiphany to figure out, like, this is something that my soul has always been called to do, but this was the moment to do it. So that's kind of where I got the Epiphany project.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you get a little bit of everything that was going on with me during that time of life.
Yeah.
So all the ups and downs is in Epiphany.
It's definitely a journey along the whole EP.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And there's actually more songs that were supposed to be on that project, because I recorded like 12 songs. Okay. And we narrowed it down to those. So there's some songs that are just there. I still have them. I had these CDs that I planned on releasing with the whole project. So I have CDs with the whole actual full length of Epiphany. But, we dropped the small version for right now.
Do you have a plan for them other songs? Are you keeping them in the tuck or what?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Do you feel like there was a specific song on that project that challenged you the most creatively?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I would say there's two. One that's not on the project, and then one that is on the project, and that one's Development. Because the project was originally going to be called Red Room because of the dream. And then I was like, I'm going to call it Development because it was developing the photos. But that's kind of where I get to still sneak in that title that I was thinking about using for Epiphany. Mm-hmm. And so Development was that. And I got to do that with the incredible Lo, who's also an artist out here in the DFW. And that one was probably the most challenging but most rewarding for me, because I got to partner up with another vocalist, and we had to learn how to work and sync together as far as writing goes. So it was a time of, like, sometimes when I'm writing my music, I do it most of the time alone at home in my own space. But in being in a space with someone else to come up with, like, what do we want this song to be? I love the beat. I love the instrumentation on it because it just has so many, like, strings. And so I love the beat, but figuring out what do we want to say. And so that required us to be more vulnerable with each other in the process of making that song, and just kind of talk about things that were going on in our lives and mesh those into lyrics. And I feel like it's one of the ones that I'm most proud of, and also it was the most challenging for that reason, because you just have to get a little bit more vulnerable and just kind of expose, like, sometimes you just have insecurities as an artist of, like, am I capable of doing this? Like, is it going to actually happen? And that's one of those songs where it's just like, I'm going to have to keep going anyways to figure out what turns out of it. Like, my soul just can't stop.
Right.
So,
yeah. For sure. So, if someone only listens to one track from that project, what would it be? Same one?
Would it be that one?
Would it be that same one?
Like, if you had to choose one.
That's not fair. That's not fair. Dang. Oh, man.
Listen to the whole project.
Yeah, listen to the whole. That's the whole thing. I think. I don't know. I feel like each of them deserve their own respect for different reasons, and so I don't know if I would be able to pick just one.
Yeah, that's fair.
I poured my heart into those songs, so I feel like I would be denying a part of my heart by saying, like, this is the one. But if you want to get something, like, more, like, introspective, Development is definitely that. But if you want to get something fun, like Love Jones is definitely fun, I feel. And then something more like sweet and thoughtful is Best Friend. And so, yeah.
Got a little something for everybody.
Yeah, a little bit for
Yeah.
every. I want
Yeah.
that to.
For
I want
sure.
that to echo in my music. Like
Yeah.
whenever I am dropping stuff, I want you to be able to find something in the project that you love. Whether if you're not like an emotional person, you can find something fun over here.
Right.
So
Right.
For sure.
Well, can we talk a little about some new music? We just played Chemistry in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that song?
Chemistry. So Jo Ace made the instrumentation for it, and so I got it from AJ sent it to me.
Okay.
And so, and I was at the house, and I was in I have a little art room at the house. So I was in there, and I was just thinking about what do I want this song to be, and it just felt very smooth and sexy and intimate, and I feel like at that moment in my life, I feel like that's just where I was, and so. Chemistry is kind of a little bit of a snapshot of what's going on in my world and what's to come and what you can kind of expect from Honey Day a little bit more. You're going to get a little bit more of like what's going on in my world for sure. A little bit more of the sexier side of Honey Day, and also just me playing with new sounds. It's like just I'm coming back and I'm going to show you, like, I have chemistry and we got chemistry. And when you listen to this song, you'll find a space where you can connect with me and I can connect with you.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's been a couple years since you dropped something. So.
It has.
Yeah.
Life has been life.
Yeah.
Life has been life.
So what makes like right now the time?
Right. I feel like right now is the time because a lot of those big life moments, like, have kind of wrapped up in a sense.
Yeah.
I moved. So just in the span of that, I was staying in my apartment, moved into a condo with my now husband, and we lost family members during that time. Me and him both went through our own grief, just I had a miscarriage, that moment in life. Changed jobs. We bought a house, got engaged, got married. So it was just a lot going on in my life and a lot of things to just navigate through. It's one thing to be an artist and, putting out music, but it's another thing when you're trying to balance life and also a career and just figuring out the flow for everything. It's just been a little complicated. But I feel like the time now is good because, like, I've knocked out a lot of those big moments in life. Like, we got our house, we're married, we are learning how to navigate grief, and now it's like this opportunity where I'm ready to like put the new things that I've learned in life, I've experienced into the music, and just dive in, just go full-fledged in. So yeah.
We're excited for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And congratulations on
appreciate
all
it.
the accomplishments.
Yes, for
Congrats
sure.
on the new house, being married.
Yes. Yeah, it's great.
So speaking of your husband, John Doe,
Yeah.
a friend of our show
Yeah.
as well. You guys recently performed together at the
Yes.
Tea Party. What was that experience like?
It was great. It was great. I really enjoyed it. It started at home trying to figure out like what we wanted to do. And so again, like we just got married and we were like, okay, it's time to go. We're ready to do some music. We're trying to get some stuff moving again. So let's do a show. And the Tea Party we were like working on, we had some songs that we've been working on. So it's not like that life has been going and we have not done anything.
Yeah, I feel like you always created, I'm sure.
Yes, we are always creating, walking down the hallways, creating, in a room, creating, like, it just don't stop. But we decided, we were like, okay, let's do a tea party to just bring in that project and also kind of, like, show that we have more to come. And so we had a local tea company come out, which that was incredible. We had incredible artists on the lineup. Like all the artists that were at the show were just, I love them. They all did phenomenal. They did great on the stage. And then our show itself, like, it was this cool opportunity for us to be on the stage simultaneously. Because before, it's like I'm on some of his songs. You can hear me on some of his songs, but you don't really get to see us both on the same stage. So that was cool to be able to work with him in that capacity on stage. And then also to show some new music that we had coming out. So Tea Party was fun. Yeah.
It was.
We had a great time.
We did have a great time. That tea was really good.
Man, listen. I still
Nothing
think
but
about
a tea
that.
thing.
Shout out nothing but a tea thing.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, y'all set was amazing. Everybody did have a great set.
Yeah,
Yes.
Y'all set was
Great
great.
set.
Y'all had us turned up in the crowd. You know, surprised me with a few bars.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah. All right, we have a, you're going to get a little something. I told you I don't like to be in a box.
Yeah.
So that song with a few bars, it'll come very soon.
Okay.
But, it'll be different for Honey Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A different side of Honey.
Yeah, it's a different side of Honey Day. The very first side of Honey Day. Like, the first time y'all gonna see it.
Was you channeling, the rap that your brother was listening to when you were growing up?
You know what? It's funny because when I do talk to some of my family members and they do hear it, they hear my brother. Like, they like, you kind of got his cadence or flow to it. And I'm like, dang, for real? I can kind of see it. I mean, because I've been around him my whole life. So I definitely feel like I definitely had that part for sure. And then also being around John Doe is like, I'm around a real life rapper for real. And so that's also kind of helped build a little bit more courage to be like, okay, I can try. I can do it.
Yeah.
Even the team has been like, you should just try. You should just try one of these days. So it's one of these days now.
Well, hearing what we heard, you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm ready for that to hit my DSPs for sure.
I'm ready for it to be released. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So obviously, y'all both make music. Mm-hmm. What is that like being married to another artist?
I think for us, it's finding the balance to make space for each other, to hear each other's thoughts. Again, like I said, at the house, which I'm excited about, we have one room that is like the studio room and then one room that's like my artistic flow room. And so when he's writing something or working on something, most of the time he'll go sit in the studio and he'll have his headphones on, and then most of the time I'm in my room working on something. And so creative-wise, it works well, to be honest with you, because I have somebody at home that I can genuinely just throw ideas at and give my rough ideas, like super fresh, right out of my mind thoughts, or it doesn't feel awkward to like do some of my weird artist stuff. Like if I'm just walking around the house and I'm constantly singing something, or I'm just humming a melody, it's not getting on his nerves because it doesn't bother him. So that's cool. And then just collaborating like with ideas, just it's a sounding board that I have at the house that I could just talk about music with and dive deep into whatever lane or journey, or we'll go on walks sometimes in our neighborhood and just talk about some of the things that we want to accomplish and how do we get there. And I think now it's more so like, how do we do that now in this new phase in our life? Because it's not the same as it was before. You know, before he was my boyfriend, then eventually became fiance, and when you're married, it's different. Yeah. It's like it feels the same, but it's not the same at the same time. And so figuring out that new ground and how do we navigate that as a unit, because he's still John Doe and I'm still Honey Day. Like, you're gonna see us when you see him, you're gonna see me, and when you see me, you're gonna see him. But we're still our own entities and we're our own people, and not making sure that we don't like hinder each other from exploring whatever route we want to go as far as music and anything outside of music, whether it's acting, because I do have that background, so being able to eventually tap into that more often, just allowing each other to be, because when you're an artist, you're going to play in different things, you're going to figure out different ways of maneuvering. And so I think with us, we just allow each other to do that, and we talk about it. we talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
See how each other feel about, okay, I'm going to go this route. What do you feel about this? What you think about that? And we just hear each other out. So, yeah.
That's nice. Sounds like I got a good balance.
We do.
For sure.
Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, I'm glad you brought up your acting. You played in the series Smears.
Yes.
Yeah, you played London.
Yes.
What was that experience like being able to play London?
It was actually it was very much a learning experience for me. That was my first recording for like being a part of a TV show. So again, I had my background in theater, done some stage plays, and had a few opportunities for some shows when I first moved out to Dallas. But that one was just like a moment where I kind of really got to see what it's like to be on set and learning some of the ways that you have to go about it. So it was really cool because I got to work on pulling from my background of theater with the script, breaking it apart, figuring out like, okay, how is London? What does London feel like? What is her relationship with these people? And I met some really great people on set. Some of those people I'm still like intermingling, working with and stuff like that. So you'll see some stuff from them soon. So Smears was just a really great learning experience for me. I learned a lot being on Smears, just from terminologies that you use on set and like, okay, you need to be completely off book by this certain time. And okay, the locations you're going to, if something happens at the location and it changes, like being able to be flexible to maneuver there. And so it was definitely a big learning experience for me, and something I'm also like proud of as far as me just stepping out and doing. You know, like it's not always the easiest when you're trying something new. Yeah. And so being able to tap back into that was fun. It was fun. Yeah. I hope I get to, it's going to happen. But just getting to be in more shows, TV or movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned your theater background because, like, it's kind of a dramatic role, you know?
It was. It was.
And you had to pull from emotions. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you pulled it off, so it makes sense because you have a background in theater.
Yes.
For sure.
So.
Yep, it was, I went to Sam Houston, and the emphasis was in acting and directing.
Okay.
So.
Okay, it showed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Could you explain the character London to anybody who hasn't seen it?
So London is definitely like a professional in the sense of like she's working in the office. But at the same time, she is trying to figure out her personal life and love life and with her friends and just navigating through being like almost the mama of the group. She's kind of like trying to help her friends, but also she gets herself involved in some things too. And so her friends I don't want to give too many details because if y'all want to watch it, I mean, you can go watch it. Yeah. But her friends go through some different traumas within just the Black community that Alexis was projecting at that time, like letting people know about. And so she's having to navigate as a friend through those relationships that she's in with her friends, but also like her relationship with this guy in the show. And so trying to see how it unfolds. Yeah. Yeah.
What was it like stepping into that character?
It was different. Yeah. Because she like the side of London that's like professional business, like I'm here to get this certain thing done. Like that was fine. Like I've done that in school, but the more of the sexier side of London, tapping into like the flirtier side, that one was like a little bit of a challenge because it's like, okay, how do I build the chemistry on set for this to come off natural and not like, oh, this looks awkward, you know? So it was cool because I got to meet up with my scene partner. We had like Zoom calls and we would go over the script, break it apart, like talk about what we saw in that character and so that way we can build our chemistry outside of the show so that we are able to translate it on the show. So, you know, that helped a lot to make it not feel so uncomfortable when you came in those scenes. And then a lot of the times when you're on set too, it comes off more natural too, because after a while you're like, it's cut, do it again, cut, do it again, cut. So you like doing the same scenes a few times, and so that helps each time you feel a little bit more comfortable to fall into the role a little bit more. So
Right.
hanging out with the scene partners and outside of the show to just build up and prepare for it, go over our script, that really helped bring it to life a little bit more.
Yeah. Do you know there's any plans for a season 2 of the show?
I haven't heard any.
Okay.
I haven't heard any talks of a season 2, but I'm sure knowing her, you know, again, life be life for everybody. So I'm sure that she is definitely got something up her sleeve.
Yeah.
Like I highly doubt that she does not have something else planned for moving forward show wise. So whenever it does come, I look forward to seeing how it goes and watching it. But
Okay.
don't know if I know season 2.
Okay.
Because me and my wife watched it.
You did?
Only gripe is I felt like it was too short. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be longer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be longer. But you know.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. It's a good thing though. It's like it made me want more. You know.
Yes.
So there's a season 2. Just let me know. You know,
I will.
I'll be telling
I
you
will.
that.
I'll let you know. I'll be like, hey, you know how you asked about season 2?
I'm trying to see some more London on my screen. You know?
I'm trying to see London on the screen too.
Are there any other roles that you have planned? Anything you have in the works?
As of right now, I don't, as far as shows, but definitely have been talking with like AJ behind the scenes of wanting to like get into auditioning for more stuff. So we've talked about like tapping into more of the acting side, but you know, it's about figuring out how do we want to maneuver through it and what's available and who's auditioning where and what's being casted for. So now it's, like I said, a lot of the big moments that I had that were taking up a lot of my space is not there anymore. So I'm looking forward to seeing what roles are available and being able to actually audition and see how it goes.
For sure.
Okay. We're going to take a turn.
Okay.
Talk about back to music.
Okay.
But not about your music this time.
Okay.
What artist are you currently into right now?
Okay. Like I told y'all, I'm a big Victoria fan. I love Victoria. I love Glorilla.
Okay. Same. She's loved here.
Yeah.
I just love Glorilla. I was literally playing her on the way here. The one with Keisha.
Okay.
So I've been playing that one in the car. I've also been listening to a little bit more country music here lately. Been dabbling in that. And then who else have I? Let me pull up my phone real quick. Let me go through my
go through your most played, your recently played playlist.
So I just here's some of the ones I just downloaded. So one, my friend Clover the violinist, she just uploaded some music, so I downloaded her stuff.
Okay.
Rather Be by Giveon.
Okay.
I just downloaded Lizzo's Still Bad. And then I got My Stupid Life by Brittany Spencer, which is the country singer. So those are some of the ones that I've been going back to right now, or just Magic by Manny Wells. I don't know if you take it easy, baby, before I have your baby.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
So anyways, I've been listening to that. So and then just going on to different playlists and just playing music. That's what I've been doing this summer. I just been playing music on a playlist and seeing if I find something I like, and then I'll put it on repeat. And most of the time I'll just be in my room dancing.
Okay.
So yeah.
Are you familiar with the country artist you mentioned?
I'm not.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
I'm not. But
I like them. You should try. You should try.
I have no country in my repertoire.
I understand. I understand.
How do you feel about like rappers going into country music? or like Beyonce, of course. You know, she stepped in that lane. I think Big X the Plug's trying to step in that. Post is over there now. How do you like that?
I do like it. Especially somebody who is from the country. Like, I'm from the country. Like, I'm from the country. And so I feel like sometimes as an artist, especially in R&B, it's hard to, like, in some ways figure your way through and still, like, show all the different sides of yourself without and not fall into a certain category. So I respect how Beyonce is going about this journey for her with music, because you almost give so many artists permission to play in whatever genre they want to play in. And also at the same time, like, I know for country music, you might not feel like Beyonce should be in that category, but she's from Texas. Like, she from the South. So I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like there's certain people who are allowed to do this music and there's certain people who aren't. And if you don't do country music, then if you're an R&B singer, you have to fall into this category. And I feel like her doing that gives so many of us permission to play in the areas of maybe even our own backgrounds that we didn't maybe feel like we are allowed to play in. So I like it a lot. It gives me like a little bit more confidence to show a little bit more of my own country roots, like, which you'll get to see in some of my music that'll come soon. But like, I think it's amazing. I think it gives us permission to play wherever we want to play. And not put us in a box. And I think she's doing an incredible job with it. And I think it's allowing a lot of attention to be brought to some of these country artists that are Black country artists that you just otherwise probably would have, unless you really tapped into it, you kind of would have not known about. Like, that's kind of how I got to figure out who Brittany Spencer was too. Like, I was just like, let me figure out who else is in here and like, who else do I like? And so I like it. I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And as someone who doesn't like to be boxed in, I feel like
exactly
that's what it's all about.
It
right?
is. It's like, okay, so if I wanted to bring country strings in it, she just gave us with this album a little bit more of an understanding of where it's rooted in, and to like respect that side of the genre as well. And like do a little bit more digging, do a little bit more research, figure out how do you want to bring that into your artistry. So I think it's incredible. I think it's incredible.
We're gonna get a Country Honey Day album.
You're gonna get a little bit. You're definitely gonna get a little bit of some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna. It's soon too. Like, you'll get to see, because I know sometimes people might not really feel like they know me, but like I said, I'm from East Texas. I'm from pine trees and dirt roads and fields. Like, my family got a lot of land out in the country, and we meet up and for family gatherings, and we riding on our tractors or planting something, or somebody's riding horse. Like, I'm from the the country. So I think her seeing that and seeing a lot of the other country artists that are emerging gives me a little bit more confidence to be like, oh, okay, if they could do it, I could do it too. So.
I think your voice would sound really good on some country instrumentation too.
So, I think so too. I think so too.
Agreed.
So
are there any artists that you want to work with that you haven't yet?
There's so many artists. There's so many artists. Me and Taylor Morgan are supposed to work on something soon.
Okay.
She's an artist in the DFW as well. I love her. And then just on a bigger platform, one of the artists I just would really love to work with one day is Jasmine Sullivan. I love Jasmine Sullivan. If I could get on the track with Jasmine Sullivan one day, my heart would just be like, like the kid in me would just explode. I just love her. She has this one song that I used to sing all the time when I was a kid called Hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I love that song. I sung that song all the time growing up. So, yeah, that would be like a dream collaboration to be able to work with Jasmine. Yeah. And then who else? I'm also just open to collaborating with different artists around the DFW as well.
Yeah.
I really haven't gotten the opportunity to collab with too many people, so just open.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to like hit you up for a collab, what should the approach be? Should they send you a song with the hook ready for it, or should they just like
Yeah, just like send a song and have it already kind of mapped out and just, you know, make sure it's on brand. Like, you know, like know my sound and know that it can actually collab, not just throw it at me just to throw something, you know.
Yeah.
Like have a vision for it, tell me what you planning on doing with it. And then if I feel like it's dope and I can hear myself on it, I'll definitely down to collab.
Yeah. So don't just hit you up and say let's work and then leave it at that. Okay. Have a plan.
Help me out. I'm trying to figure out my own stuff.
Well, what you mean? Let's work. How do you want to do that?
Trying to figure out my own stuff over here. So you know what?
I feel you. Come with a plan if you want to understand your song. You know.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely plenty of artists out here to work with.
Yeah.
That I think would work together.
Absolutely.
A lot of talent in the city for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure. If your life had a theme song right now, what would it be?
Dang. That's a good one. If I had a theme song right now.
Coming with the tough questions.
You did. Because I'm like, dang, theme song? Shoot. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think you stumped me. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm really over here trying to think
That's
too.
all right. That's all right.
What would yours be?
I don't even know. That's a good question. there's a lot of songs out there.
It is.
Yeah. No, we never got hit with the Uno reverse card.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the first time.
Do you have an answer for that? That's a good question, though.
That is good.
I should have came prepared with my own answer.
Should have thought about that on the way up.
Do you have one?
No, I have no. I don't think I have one. Well, I probably would if like later tonight when I'm like laying
See,
down.
that's what's
I'm
gonna
like,
happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like riding. I'm like, you know what? This would have been it.
Yeah.
But if I had to, I can't say a specific song. But if I had to say like the energy behind a song, it would definitely be like something fun and like motivational.
Okay.
I feel like fun and motivational
Yeah.
would be what I would have for my life song. But you know,
Okay.
I'm gonna hit y'all up in the inbox later on when
Yeah.
I figure out what the song is, and then y'all can just insert it, and
There
I'll
you
be
go.
like, yeah, 'cause
Yeah. We'll just
We got
that
you.
was a good question.
Add it
You
in
got more
post.
hard questions like that too?
Let's see.
I think she'll be alright. I think she'll be alright.
I think they're all right.
You know, we did talk about your favorite musicians and stuff. Do you have any favorite albums?
So I definitely love the. Hold on, wait. We have album wise. I'm definitely gonna go to Ari Lennox.
Which one?
Which one was this one? Not this one. Hold on, wait. It was her first one.
The Shea Butter Baby album?
Yes,
Okay.
that album. I played that album on repeat.
Yeah.
I love that album. I loved the Victoria Monet album. Both of the recent ones. She just-
Jaguar and
Yes.
the second one.
Both of those. I love those two albums. And then, who else? I have worn out the Renaissance Project from Beyonce. I probably played that one too many times.
Yeah.
And then Jasmine Sullivan's newest one that she just put out.
The Hotels?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Hotels.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Hotels, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That album. Those albums,
Yeah.
masterpieces in my opinion. I like them.
I was sleep on Jasmine for a while. Like I knew the singles,
Yeah.
but Hotels like really turned me into a fan.
Yeah, it was great. I went and she had a show out here a few years ago, and I went to it.
Yeah.
And she performed, and she was hoarse.
Yeah, she was real sick.
She still sounded phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, even through being hoarse, like, it was a great show. She said that she would come back. I hope she does.
Yeah.
She said she was gonna make up for her being hoarse, so I hope she does that because she did such a great job. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the like best vocalists that we got. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I agree.
All right. Here's another question.
Okay.
I mean, it could be hard. It just depends. It depends. What's one thing people always assume about you that's totally wrong?
I had one of my best friends at one point when she first met me. She thought that I was uppity. She thought that I was going to be uppity. And then when she got to know me, she realized that I wasn't. I think that might be something, possibly. But I'm really shy when I first meet people. I really don't talk a lot. But once I feel comfortable with you and I feel safe, I'll run my mouth.
Yeah.
I will talk. So I think that might be it. I think I come off kind of like a little bit more like, you can get close to me, but you can't get that close to me type of vibe. But I'm actually I sometimes just get nervous out in public.
Yeah. And people take it personal.
Yeah, and I don't mean it to be personal. And, sometimes I'm just in my own world, to be honest with you. I'm here. I'm trying to navigate people. I get a little anxiety when I'm around a lot of people. So I just try to figure out my way through the room.
Yeah.
So when people do come talk to me, I'm not trying to be weird. I'm just trying to navigate the space. So yeah, I think that would be one of the things.
Okay.
So
just approach Honey.
Yeah, you come talk to me. I'm gonna talk.
Yeah.
I'll talk back to you.
Yeah.
I'm really not like one of those people you can't come and talk to.
You're not about to like go out your way and be like,
no.
hey.
No, if I know you, if I see your face, if I've seen your face several times, I'm terrible with names. And the people around me who know me, they know I'm terrible with names, but I really remember faces.
Yeah.
So if I've talked to you and I've seen your face before, I'm gonna remember your face. But names, it just be slipping.
Yeah.
But if you see me out and you want to talk, just come up and talk to me. I'm gonna talk back.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a conversation from there. But yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Here's another one.
Okay.
What's a red flag or deal breaker in your creative process that instantly throws off the whole session? If we're just throwing stuff at the wall, if it's just immediately a no. If I don't like that. Like that'll kind of throw it off for me because I'm still trying to maneuver through it. It's the best reference I can think of is like one time in one of my directing classes, one of my teachers told us to put together a list of ideas. They didn't give us a topic. We just need to put a show together and you just throw out whatever random ideas. And they told us never consider an idea a bad idea because that idea might be the thing that like pulls it all together. And I was one of those people that still did it anyway. I was like, that's not a good idea. I don't like that. And it wound up in my scene being one of those things that tied the whole show together. And it taught me a big lesson at that moment. So now in the creative process, if I'm throwing stuff at the wall, I just let's play with it. And then at the process of coming to the song or whatever, if that part still doesn't sound right or you don't like that, like let's just remove it from there. But like in the formative process of it, just trying to see what sticks and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would say.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let's just hear it all together. Let's see what we think from there.
Yeah, don't just shut it down immediately.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe this one's going to be tough.
It
This is
might
another
be.
song question.
Okay.
That's another song question. What's a guilty pleasure song you blast loudly when no one's around? Like one that other people might be like, "You like that song?"
I mean, I know I'm not supposed to really this song. Like I told y'all, Glorilla. Typa,
Okay.
Okay.
the one with the Keisha Cole. I know I probably, because I'm married and all that kind of stuff, but I'll be singing that song at the top of my lungs. I love that song. Like, I love it. So, yeah, I definitely play that at the house, loud. My husband be like, but I like the song. So that's my guilty pleasure song right now. Typa is my guilty pleasure right now.
You ain't gotta relate to it, you know. You just
but I like it.
Yeah.
It go hard.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna play it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna play it loud. So yeah.
That's not that bad of a guilty pleasure song.
Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah.
Outside of music and acting, what's something new you want to try?
I really want to try honestly, one of the things that I've been wanting to try for a while is pottery.
Okay.
I really want to try. I've never done it before, and I really would love to go to a class and actually make a piece and see how good I am at it.
Yeah.
I feel like I might be really good at it.
Okay.
Just in general.
Yeah.
What gives you that confidence? You just...
I don't know. I feel like certain things that I feel like might be a little hard, I sometimes catch on to really quick. Mm-hmm. And like if I go to a sip and paint and I paint, I feel like I do pretty good at a sip and paint. Like I do pretty good with the paint, but I really just don't dive into it.
Yeah.
I feel like pottery requires a certain level of focus and like movement, and I feel like I would be able to do it.
Yeah.
I just got this little bit of a confidence that I can do it, and I want to do it. So that would be something I would want to try.
Okay.
Tap
into that for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should.
They got pottery classes out
They
there
do.
and stuff. Yeah.
They do.
You can do a couples one too. They got couples ones. I don't know if you want him messing up your...
He gonna have his own. He have his own.
Y'all not gonna do it together, you know?
We can do it together, but he can have his piece and I can have. Then we'll wind up just competing just a little bit. We'll be like, mine look a little bit better than yours.
Exactly.
So, but I think he's done it in high school at one point.
Oh, okay.
So he might try to one up me on it because I think he's done it before. But I do have a little bit more confidence in myself. I think I could. I think I would probably be good at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should try it out. You might be selling some Honey Day pieces.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like a Honey Day ball, you know.
Some custom.
Have something at the house.
Yeah.
Custom one of one.
Yeah, like a little bowl. Maybe put some candles in there. Got like a Honey Day candle at the house.
Yeah.
You never know.
All my pottery when I was a kid turned into ashtrays. So.
Hey, I can make an ashtray.
Yeah.
Honey Day ashtray.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. As we wrap up here, what's next for Honey Day?
So right now it's definitely music. Got a good amount of new music that I plan on releasing throughout this year. So we got Chemistry coming soon. And then we have like a few more sprinkled out throughout this year that you'll be getting from us. But we're going to focus on Chemistry for right now. But you definitely can expect more music. More collaborations, some with fashion. Like I already have something for fashion coming soon. So hopefully, you might see that any day now. But we're tapping in music-wise, tapping into the fashion community. And then hopefully we'll get some things going for the acting side as well.
Okay.
But for sure, fashion, for sure, music.
Yeah.
You got more music coming for me.
Should we expect some dates for like Chemistry coming soon?
Yeah.
You don't have to say the date, but like
it's like
an
it's
announcement
coming.
for
You got it. Like if you just keep an eye out on my page, it's gonna pop up. We're gonna let you know very soon.
I'm sure the people are waiting.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Well, why don't you tell everybody what your page is so they can watch out for that?
So you can find me on Instagram, Honey Day, HoneyDaii, and on all streaming platforms with the same name. So it's not too hard to find me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming through.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is fun. I'm still gonna hit y'all up on my theme song.
Yeah.
We're waiting for it.
Let us know.
Yeah, I am. I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm send it to y'all tonight. I was like, you know what? That was a great question. I'm still thinking about it, and now I got it.
You're gonna think about it on the whole way home.
I am.
You might like just put all your music on shuffle.
Yes,
Like, nah,
like,
that ain't it.
That ain't it. That ain't it. Let me go to the next one. Oop, this one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, once again, thank you so much for sitting down with us. We've had a great time talking
Absolutely.
with you.
Yes, thank y'all for having me again.
Of course.
And thank y'all for showing up to the tea party.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
of course.
We really appreciate y'all coming out and supporting us, and then for us to be able to connect now too. So.
Yeah. Anytime
appreciate
y'all got something going on,
Yeah.
we pulling up. So.
We're tapped in now.
Yeah, and I look forward to seeing y'all faces.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, and we'll see you next time.
All right.